Some of the first maps in Brawl Stars were honestly boring, blocky, repetitive, and way too easy to predict. There were days I logged in, saw the same gem grab layout, and logged out 5 minutes later. But things changed. Over time, the map designs went from basic filler to something that actually impacts how you play. Today, I am breaking down the full evolution of Brawl Stars maps and why the game just would not feel the same without it. Early era maps, late 2018 to 2020. Back when Brawl Stars officially launched in late 2018, the map variety was honestly quite limited. Most maps shared the same structure. They were simple, symmetrical, and blocky. You had bushes laid out in basic patterns, walls forming perfect shapes, and barely any terrain depth. Snake Prairie was one of the most iconic maps from this time, especially in Bounty. It was basically a giant field of bushes where visibility was low and strategy was all about stealth and team coordination. Gem Grab, Showdown, and Bounty were the main modes featured, and they each had only a few maps. Players often had to repeat the same ones in rotation for weeks. You would know exactly where the enemy would go just based on the map name. It was that predictable. Then, something big happened in October 2020. Mapmaker was introduced. For the first time, players could create and play on their own custom maps. At first, the tools were basic. You could place walls, bushes, water, and choose spawn points. It supported Gem Grab, Brawl Ball, Solo Showdown, and a few others. Soon after, players could submit their maps for Map of the Day competitions. This brought a huge wave of creativity into the game. Even though the early maps were still visually plain, the community finally had a voice. Player feedback started shaping, which maps made it into regular rotation. From my own experience, Snake Prairie always stood out because it forced me to play in ways I usually never would. It really helped define the sneaky side of Brawl Stars gameplay back then. Number of maps expanding from 2021 to 2023. As the game grew more popular, so did its map diversity. Between 2021 and 2023, Supercell began rolling out more maps than ever before. Each game mode started getting multiple unique layouts. Heist maps introduced long, narrow paths with gadgets in mind. Brawl Ball added obstacles that made scoring more tactical. And Gem Grab moved away from perfect symmetry to more creative and challenging spaces. What really changed during this time was how seasonal updates influenced maps. During holidays, maps would receive visual overhauls. You would get snow-themed arenas in winter, spooky versions in October, and even candy-colored maps during certain events. These changes were not just visual. Some maps introduced mechanics tied to the theme, like slowing tiles or teleporters. Mapmaker also got major updates. In 2021, it started supporting more modes like Siege, Hot Zone, and even Duo Showdown. Additional tools were added like healing zones, damage traps, and random modifiers. This opened up custom gameplay like never before. Some of the top community maps were even added into the official rotation. That was a big deal. It showed Supercell was really listening to players. Around this time, Supercell also began rotating maps more frequently. Before, maps would stay the same for weeks. But by late 2022, they started using weekly or even daily rotations. This kept things fresh and gave underused maps a second chance. I remember testing out community maps during this era. Some were chaotic, others genius. It was exciting, never knowing what layout you were going to face next. There was one time I played a map with back-to-back teleporters and healing pads stacked on top of each other. It was madness, but also super fun. These kinds of changes kept the player base engaged and brought new life to every season. Narrated breakdown of 2024 update maps. The year 2024 brought some major structural changes to how maps were handled in Brawl Stars. Early that year, the ranked pool system received a big update. One of the key changes was the addition of Bounty mode into the ranked rotation. Along with that, Supercell added one extra map to each core mode inside ranked. It was a smart move. Players had been asking for more variety at higher levels, and this delivered exactly that. Then came the June 2025 Trophy Road update. This introduced two brand new map environments, Town Square and Retropolis. These were not just small tweaks or reskins. They were full-on themed areas tied directly to the larger Star Park lore. Every piece of terrain felt designed with purpose. Town Square looked like a bright public plaza with fountains and clean lines, while Retropolis gave off retro vibes with neon lights and compact alleyways. More than anything, these environments changed how you approached each match. The amount of cover, the positioning of choke points, even the layout of bushes started to feel unique to each world. Instead of reusing tiles or textures from other maps, these new designs had their own identity. What I found interesting was how much smoother the transitions felt. You could go from a classic desert map into Retropolis, and it would feel like a completely different game. That level of attention to detail showed how far map design had come. Honestly, these updates made me excited again to log in every day just to see which environment I would be playing in. It is proof that the design team is not just thinking about gameplay, but also about keeping the visuals fresh and exciting. Section 4, Riffle on Mapmaker rework plans late 2025. Supercell has scheduled a major overhaul of Mapmaker for October 2025. This update will let players share custom maps using codes, much like in other modern games. Creators will gain the ability to define what game mode their map supports. That means modes like Heist or Brawl Ball could be custom scripted. Constraints like single mode only are going away. New layout tools will add sandbox-style control over terrain, obstacles, spawn points, and even modifiers. Players will be able to release custom game modes. Mapmaker will feel more powerful and polished. It seems the goal is to reduce friction. Maps will be easier to share and harder to lose. Map variety is likely to grow explosively once creators have this kind of freedom. This change will also affect competitive and casual scenes. It could become common to see fan-made maps integrated into official rotation. Community designers may create seasonal themes or unique game rules that could reshape the entire map ecosystem. I remember building custom layouts in the old Mapmaker. Even then, I could sense this kind of update was needed most. I feel excited about seeing true community creativity get a fair spotlight soon. Analytical perspective on rotation and tier mapping. Map rotation systems have become more dynamic over time. By late 2024 and into early 2025, official rank rotation includes new bounty maps and timely shifts in mode pools. Brawl Time Ninja provides live tier lists that reflect current map strength and brawler suitability per map and mode. These dashboards update in real time using high-level player data. Tier lists show how some maps favor long-range brawlers while others reward close combat or area control. Competitive players study these lists closely. They shape draft decisions and team composition by mode and map. Maps that rotate often appear in C tier due to unpredictable layout, while stable favorites tend to slot into B or A tier. It matters for high-level play. If a map shows top-tier win rates for snipers, teams may focus ban priority around those. Strategic planning now includes map pool knowledge as much as brawler meta. Reddit discussions from competitive players often mention frustration over sniper-heavy rotations. I have jumped into ranked matches, feeling confident only to discover the map pool favored a completely different team style. That mix of excitement and nervousness still gets me every time. Map design has become one of the most important parts of the Brawl Stars experience, especially with the newer updates. What is the one map you would remove from rotation if you could? Drop your answers in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed this breakdown, and subscribe for more Brawl Stars content. Let me know what topic you want me to cover next.